Come, Nerevar, come. Today we will be going over all of the adoptable orphans you can find in Skyrim. Unfortunately, if you are not playing with mods, all of the adoptable orphans are Enwas. The Hearthfire DLC really dropped the ball on that one, I'm telling you. Also, don't forget, if you don't like some of the choices presented here, you could always create orphans by eliminating their parents. I'll go over them at some point later. In any case, let's begin. Alesan is a Redguard child that is working in the mines. Alesan and his father were on a boat when his father became sick. The crew dropped the two off in Dawnstar. A few days later, his father kicked the bucket. He now delivers food to the miners in Dawnstar to make money to survive. At night, he can be found sleeping on the floor in the Windpeak Inn. The little fellow really helps out these rough and gruff miners. I said miners, not miners, Nerevar, but we are talking about miners here. In any case, his hard work and dedication do honor the Sixth House and the tribe unmourned, even though he is a Redguard. I would adopt him, bring him to Red Mountain, and play the floor is lava.
Stop it right there, Dagoth Ur. Why don't you take a seat right over there? Are you sure you want to make this video? You remember what happened last time you tried to meet up with Nerevar at our Sting House?
Greetings, sweet Nerevar. I have arrived.
Oh, great! Come right in. The tools of Kagranak are on the table. I will be right out. I have to go into the basement, fight some rats, and get some Kwama eggs.
Ah, splendid. You honor the Sixth House and the tribe unmourned. Take your time, Moon and Star.
I don't think destiny will be made anytime soon in this place. Why don't you take a seat for me, right over there? What are you doing here?
Yes, Chris, I remember, but I am not overthrowing the Empire here. I'm simply going over a list.
You are playing with fire here, Dagoth Ur, but as long as you stick within the guidelines of Dateline NPC, you should be all right. I will be watching this list, and if I find something I do not find appropriate, I am going to make you take a seat.
What an annoying Enwa. Moving on. Blaze is an orphaned Breton child who lives at Katla's farm and works as a stable boy to earn his keep. While Katla isn't actively cruel to him, it could be argued that she is neglectful since Blaze has to sleep in the stables with the animals. Blaze's parents were members of the Imperial Legion, serving the mongrel dogs of the Empire, and therefore met their end in an ambush. After his parents were destroyed, Katla took him in and put him to work as her stable boy. I do have sympathy for his situation. It's a real tearjerker, Nerevar. However, the solution to his problem is to serve House Dagoth. If he refuses to serve me, then I'll just turn him into an ash ghoul and make him sleep in the heart chamber. Lucia is a mongrel dog of the Empire child found sitting on a bench in Whiterun near the Gildergreen tree. Her mother kicked the bucket, and her aunt and uncle kicked her out when they took over her mother's farm. She then arrived in Whiterun and took to the streets, where Brenuin showed care for her and told her to ask the townsfolk for septums. I don't trust this Brenuin fellow one bit. Also, she probably has to deal with Nazim every time coming up to that bench and asking her if she's been to the Cloud District, and Heimskr screaming in her ear while she is trying to take a nap on the bench. Truly an awful situation. Nerevar, stop cutting onions. I am a god. How can you make a god cry? In any case, she can be rather annoying. But I would still adopt her and let her play with the cliff racers in an educational game. It will be a completely safe and healthy activity for her. She will understand why being annoying is not the best thing. Nerevar, it is an educational experience. Aww. Sophie is an Enwa Nord girl selling flowers to the Dunmert in the Grey Quarter, which is an interesting choice considering her parents probably hated us. She sells flowers and flower baskets as a way to make money to feed herself. She can be found sleeping outside in front of Niranya's house next to a barrel. What a grand and intoxicating innocence. They are Dunmer, they don't like flowers, and some of them probably don't even know what a flower is. Do you see any flowers growing here, Nerevar? I thought so. Also the hypocrisy. Your elders discriminate against the dark elves in the Grey Quarter, and you expect us to be charitable to a Nord in Windhelm's poorest places? Her mother kicked the bucket when Sophie was young, and her father was a Stormcloak soldier who was decimated in the battle against the mongrel dogs of the Empire. Yes, very sad. Anyway, if I adopted her, I would teach her about Vardenfell and how it does not have flowers because of Ashstroms. Also, a very educational experience and in no way harmful to her health and safety. Now, let me talk about the Honorhall Orphanage and a few orphans there, because we don't really know their backstories, except for Aventus Aretino, but he cannot be adopted. Honorhall Orphanage is privately funded by Maven Blackbriar and run by Grelod the Kind, which is an ironic name as she is in reality extremely cruel and abusive. Constance Michelle assists her. What do you expect from a place that is funded by Maven Blackbriar Nerevar? By default, 4 children live at Honorhall: Runa Fairshield, Hror, Samuel, and Francois Beaufort. Aventus Aretino used to live there but has since run away to Windhelm. He eventually gets the Dragonborn to send Grelod the Kind into permanent retirement and makes adoptions possible. All of Skyrim's orphans are sent here, Nerevar. And let me give you a list of reasons why this happens. In most cases, it's the Dragonborn, and the rest of them are virtually due to dragon attacks. Sometimes flukes happen, of course, a bandit here and there, but that is very rare. This concludes my list, Nerevar. I will go over potential orphans in another sermon. Please don't forget to honor the 6th house and the tribe unmourned.
That's it, Dagoth Ur. Go ahead and take a seat. I have a few questions for you based on your sermon. What are you planning on doing after the adoption process? You said here that you will expose some of these orphans to lava and cliff racers. What do you mean by that?
Oh, Moon and Star, I have to take care of some legal issues. I really have to go.
Why didn't Dagoth Ur want to adopt me? Is it because I serve Sithis and refuse to serve the 6th house and the tribe unmourned? That's rich!